Hey, welcome to part 1 of this multi-part series on how to use the VIVE Trackers. I don't know exactly how many parts I'll make this, but for the first one, we'll just talk about how to differentiate them, because when you first open up Steam VR, as you can see, it doesn't really tell you which is which. There is a way that you can identify them if there needs an update, but we'll work on that later. This is just in Unity. Also, on a side note, if you have a Steam 1.0, Steam VR 1.0 and a Steam VR 2.0 set up in your room like I do, an easy way to tell what's currently active with your cameras is to simply look at the channel number. If they're numbers, they're 2.0. If they're letters like A, B, or C, then they're going to be on 1.0. But let's get into it. This is what we'll be making today. As you can see, I have my VIVE trackers set up over here, and they're all linked up with this different box apiece. Like I said, I was having issues with one of them here, so we'll just set that off to the side. But each one of these is differently linked up. And I have other cameras, but let's just get right into this. So first what you're going to do, just create a new project. Trackers YT. Right? Let it initialize everything. Suppose it would be faster if I unblade that. So here you are. Brand new project, brand new scene, nothing imported. The first thing you want to do is go over to the asset store. As soon as the internet wants to connect. And search for Steam VR. This is a free asset made by Valve for specifically working with their products, but it's based off their OpenVR software or API, which then allows you to work with any type of VR headsets. Or not headset, but like controllers. So the Knuckles, the Rifts controllers, the wands, and the trackers all have things you can do in here, as well as programming your own for later on. But for just right now, we're going to be working on just the VIVE trackers. Once it gets all imported, make sure just to accept everything, import everything on this. We don't need to worry about anything else. I don't want to cut too much out of these because I want you to see exactly what I do here, so I'm not skipping in the scene changes, but as you can see, just hit accept all. I'll import and tell you that you made the right choice. There we go. See, you made the right choice. So let's go back to our scene. And as you can see now, we have Steam VR and Steam VR resources. So before we do anything else, we want to go to the window, Steam VR input. You always use the example files, just you can add on your own later on, but for right now. So open the binding UI and just make sure that this current controller is set to VIVE Tracker. If it's not, just click the name here and just choose the type that you're using. You can close that after that. Then just hit save and generate without making any changes here. And now it's going to make a whole bunch of JSON files to coordinate with the names that we just saw. All right, we can close this. So now let's get just like a plane on a plane down just so we can have a point of reference. And then we're going to create about 10 boxes or 10 cubes. Then on each of these, in fact, you could have done this first, you want to add a SteamVR tracked object. So what this is inside what we just worked with. This will allow us to change like the index. Here are all the devices that we have linked up in SteamVR. However, they're not very descriptive on what's what. So let's change the size of these first. So in Unity, 1 on the scale is 1 meter. So this would be 1 square meter, or 1 cubic meter. However, that's not exactly how big one of these are. These are 0.068, 0.068, and 0.048. Don't worry about getting them outside the plane. They're going to be moving wherever these are relative, so it doesn't really matter. Now, we could call it a day there. If we wanted to go through, we would just go through each of these and just name each one to a different device. So let's just do that. And there is no faster way. You'll see why I named them what I did on the sides there. How they have cube 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in parentheses. I'm labeling that with the device number. That way I know which device number I am depending on for later. Like I don't have to go over to the inspector over here if I just see this. And you notice I have up to 16 devices, but that doesn't really matter all too much. I think even with 8 trackers here and 2 cameras, I only have about 12 total devices at one point. But so if we were to hit play now and just go back to the scene view, as you can see, we have all of them here, all 7. And they're in about the same arrangement. So if I were to grab this one in the back here, it moves around. This one is number 2. I labeled each of these with little things on there, and on their dongles they have it. So let's see. Number 2. Oh, no, that's device 2. So you can go through here. So even though it's labeled number 2, and it was the second one I connected when I first turned on everything, it's actually device 9. Now, how do we know which one's which? We don't. That's why this program is incredibly useful, because every single time that you turn on SteamVR, the first time I did this one was device 2, but it changes with each time. So it's good just to know how to go through and find all these. And if we were to stop this, remember, any changes you make in Unity while playing will be undone, except for deleting files. So if we come over here, we can say, it's device 9, it's number 2. And you can go through that for each of these. However, I had colors on there. How I did that was, just simple. Create a material, call it 1. And then I just did that like 10 times. 2, 3, and so on. Then just give it, like the names there, and just come over and give it a different color. I can do this. $21, $71, $52. Yeah, it's good. All right, that's all well and good, but what's the lowest device we have? That way we can know which one to apply colors to. Scene view. So let's just go up to see if any of them are on device 1. Nope. Device 2. Device 3. That is the lowest one. That one is set to number 1. See? I don't understand why, but this one is, as you can see, number 1. And so we can just sit that down. -1. And you can go through all these, and if you were to now quit this Unity project and start working on another one, without quitting, as long as you don't close Steam VR, these device numbers will stay the same. And as you can see, I said I had up to like 16 at one point. The last one we have here is probably, let's see, 10, right? There, let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can count 7. So let's say we have just another, let's make 2 more, or let's call this one 11 and 12. Oops, and 12. So, as you can see, there's still all of them, but 11 is not there, and neither is 12. Well, if we zoom out, 12 is the camera I have. I want to say it's over there. Let's see. Yes, the one I have in the back, and then this one is up here. Number 11 is the one main camera you see up there. So really, any devices that you see in Steam VR's thing has a device number attributed to it. If you don't have it turned on, then it's probably not going to show up. But really, without having a system like this, there's no definitive way of telling it. And then, like, of course, if you ever want to set one to, let's say, the HMD, you can see exactly where my headset is, and I can just move it around here. In fact, you can see that's where all this comes from. So, thank you for watching the first one in the series, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.